Hey everyone, welcome to this creative conversation. I am really excited to share with you our guest today. This is Marty Wolff. He is the CEO of Marty Wolff Business Solutions. He is a business consultant and an executive coach, and he is also the founding partner in Contractor Succession and the host of the Business Builders Show. Marty, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for joining me today.
Well, it's great to be with you. I've been following you for a while, so I feel really honored to be with you and looking forward to this chat. I really am.
Well, thank you, Marty. One of the things that really compelled me to get in touch with you is contractor succession. And essentially what that means for our audience is people who are considering selling their business, especially service-based businesses who come up with a lot of kind of questions about how they do that and challenges. And I know that's something you specialize in. So can we just talk about how did you even get into that world of helping people sell their businesses?
Well, I've been in the consulting world for a long time. And so I've had a lot of different experiences. And along the way, people have said to me, well, I would like to pass my business on to my kids or to my employees. I've had clients say to me, I would like to sell my business. And so over the years, I would not officially be helping them, but I would be helping them with the transition. And then a few years ago, actually 3 years ago, a client of mine and a friend, his name is Scott Good, and he is my partner in Contractor Succession. I went to him and I said, Scott, you've been a client for a long time. And, quite frankly, I don't see you being prepared for the future. The proverbial line is, well, if you got hit by a bus, or some people say, if you got hit by the beer truck, what would happen? What would happen to your family? What would happen to your business? And so that started us down the journey with him. And eventually it just became so apparent to us that there are so many people, traditionally older folks, and we do specialize in contractors, although we have clients in medical devices and environmental services. It just became apparent. So we started the business, and thank goodness it's kind of organically grown. We are connected to different things and different people in the contractor space and beyond. And so it really became, it was an obvious need, and we were trying to fill it.
I love it. Started. So you noticed this need in your own clients. You end up partnering to start this business. So for people who are listening right now, who are older adults, perhaps, or who are considering getting out of their current business, maybe doing something new, what are the things, Marty, they even need to begin thinking about right now? Because that can seem very overwhelming for people.
Yeah. Well, if you read anything or if you talk to anybody like me, everybody will say, if you're thinking about it and if you're going to take action on it, you need to start now. And there are a lot of people, me included, who say you should be starting your business and running your business like you want to sell it eventually. If you do that, you'll run a really great business. Your books will be clean. You'll be training the right people. You'll be doing your right marketing, because that's what you need when you're ready to sell the business. Now, let's address something right out of the gate that you asked me the first time we chatted, because this does come up a lot. And here's the question you asked me, and it's a good one. A lot of people say, well, I have my name attached to the business. Right. And so that's an ongoing thing that people ask. And well,
what do I do?
Is it good or bad? Yeah. Is it good or bad that I have my name? If it's Marty Wolff Contracting, is that good or bad? In my opinion, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that you have a business that you're running well. You're building it to sell, or you're building it to exit. Now, that's kind of two different things.
Okay.
So most of the time we're thinking about, most of the time in what I do, people are thinking about, well, I want to sell it. I want to exit. some fashion. Okay, that's fine. But a lot of smaller businesses, solopreneurs, they may not even have any employees, but they want to exit their business. Well, you can scale that up if you wish, but a lot of people don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, quite frankly. I don't want to build a great big company,
Right, Marty, what is your succession plan? We need to talk about that.
I have a very clear one, and I know exactly what I'm doing. I have a 2022 personal strategic plan.
Good.
But here's the difference. It's maybe a subtle difference, but a lot of people are solopreneurs and they're building great businesses. Well, if you want to exit someday, what you should be doing is investing carefully so that you make enough money so that you've got that in the bank. You can do whatever you want. You have financial freedom. You don't always have to scale the business to be 300 employees. Now, there are a lot of people who want to do that, but that's an important distinction, because I talk to people who say, well, I'm a solopreneur and I don't want to scale. How am I going to sell my business? Well, okay, but are you running a very profitable business? Are you happy running a very profitable business? If the answer is yes, and you're making money, you're profitable, are you saving? Are you investing? Are you taking care of your health? Are you going to be there for the next 5 or 10 years? And if you do that wisely, you have financial freedom. You can do whatever you want. So there's two different sides to that. Now, I think we want to talk primarily about selling your business, but I wanted to address that.
That's really interesting. It's interesting. So and just correct me, Marty, if I'm mistaken. So what I hear you saying is that if you are a small, very micro business owner or solopreneur, think more about how you're going to exit it versus sell it. And those are two different things. So how do you exit with the financial freedom to feel comfortable, to enjoy the rest of your life and take care of yourself, but not necessarily selling the business to anyone? Maybe you wind it down, or maybe it goes into another form. Right. Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly right. You are a good communicator. Nice job. You summed that up very nicely.
Oh,
but that is it.
I got some experience with this, Marty. Thank you.
Yes. So
tell us about selling. What's the other side, the selling side?
Well, that selling side, again, you need to prepare, and everybody will tell you you should be thinking about 3 to 5 years out. Now, if you are having a fire sale, you have a trigger event, like you have a serious illness or something like that. That's a whole other thing. That can be a fire sale. But if you are thinking you're already running a pretty good business, and you want to plan an exit, and that could be passing on to employees or to your children, or to selling it to private equity, or to doing whatever you want to do, depending on your size. You should be thinking and planning for that in 3 to 5 years. So what are the steps? What are the steps? Well, again, it goes back to, well, if you should be all along building it like you wanted to sell it. But if let's take the world of contracting, okay? Which I'm really comfortable in. And so a lot of people, primarily men, they've been working for 30, 40, 50 years, some case. They're 50, 60, 70 years old. And so they may have been smart with their money. They may have invested in real estate. They may have they may have a financial plan, and they may have done well, so that they have more options when it's time to sell or time to exit. They simply have more options. But the bulk of smaller businesses have not done that well.
Oh boy. Yeah. And that's why they come to you, because they need your help.
That's why they come to us. Yes. Now, so some of them are in different degrees of whatever their status is. But what are the steps? Well, the steps are to run a good business, and that means clean books. Now, some smaller business people, it's no secret you try to avoid paying taxes. I mean, that's no secret.
Marty, I'm not going to cop to that, first of all, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yes. And quite frankly, that's okay. You do that legally, that's fine. But when you're transitioning, a buyer wants to know that you're making money. There has to be a clear path. There has to be books to back that up.
Right.
And so typically, buyers, whether it's private equity, an independent buyer, a business broker selling it for you, they want to see clean books for two to 3 years. Now, COVID-19 has thrown a monkey wrench into that a little bit, because a lot of businesses declined, but also a lot of other businesses, like a lot of contractors, exploded.
They must be going gangbusters.
Yeah, and so that year in COVID-19, now it's continuing, but that created a special cause for a lot of business. You either grew like crazy or you declined like crazy. Well, that's a special cause. So if somebody's looking at buying you or investing in you, they're looking at that, but it's a special case, a special cause. So regardless, you manage your books very carefully. If you are you have a decent sized business, you have 5, 6, 10, 30, 40, 50 employees. Is that a reasonably stable workforce? Are you retaining them? Is there turnover? Those kinds of things. That's an indicator. What's your management team look like? Are you building a strong management team? Again, I'm talking about a company. It can be 5 employees up to 300 employees, but these things apply all across the board. Your management team is critically important. Now, there are some buyers that'll want to buy your business and just get rid of everything, except they may want to keep your name. Most buyers are what they call buy and build.
Okay, what's that mean?
It simply means that they're buying a business that is either a bolt-on to what they already have, or it's a business that's a platform company that they want to build more businesses. HVAC is a great candidate. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning is a great. There are a lot of people buying up these companies because they're adding and they're creating a bigger company.
Gotcha.
Your management team, if you're in a buy and build situation, if you're a buyer, you want a strong management team. If as you're running your business, as you're preparing your business for that eventual exit, you should be really developing that management team. They have to understand finances. They have to understand leadership. They have to be good leaders. They have to be good managers, because
that's
most
part
buyers,
of what they're buying.
That is in most cases a very important part of what they're buying. And then obviously you as the owner, you're still the leader, if you will, and most buy and build will want you to come on
and consult.
Consult, maybe stay on for a year, 2 or 3. It depends on the circumstances, but so that'll get me to shift into the emotional part of this transition process.
Right. Because I would imagine most business owners, it's very hard to let go.
It's brutal. And that's whether you're a solopreneur or you're running a decent sized business. You have spent your life in this business. Your friends are in this business. When you go to the country club, they know you as the owner of the business. Your whole identity is rolled into your business. So here it is, you're going to be leaving your business. Wow, what do I do? Ooh, exactly. And most people cannot answer that question, Laura. That is nailing it. Who am I? Well, I'm the boss of this firm. Okay, but if I were to ask you, what else do you do? What else do you enjoy? Who else do you have friends with? Where do you travel? If you can't answer any of those questions, you better start thinking about it, because you're going to be exiting one way or another. We tell everybody you're going to exit your business. You're going to exit your business with your boots on or you're going to be exiting your business on your terms.
You know,
So
Marty, I just
decide
have
that.
to, I got to say something, and because it behooves everyone who's considering exiting to figure out those very important questions about their identity, primarily for the sanity of your marriage, because
Oh yeah.
you will
Oh yeah.
drive your husband or wife absolutely batty if you're shuffling around the house looking for something to do and you have no idea what it is.
Positively.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, positively. And if the common thing is, well, I'm going to golf and I'm going to fish.
Oh,
Okay. So what are you going to do after the second week?
yeah, 365 days a year. What do you?
And Laura, I'm telling you, it's sad because so many people do not think of this. What's the next chapter of their life?
Right.
So many people don't think about it, but it's such an opportunity. It is an incredible opportunity to, and again, if they do it right, they come out financially healthy. If they do the things that we're talking about now and that we would coach people to, you've got to get emotionally ready. If you do that, my goodness, Laura, the world is your oyster. You can choose what you want. You want to build homes in Guatemala? Go for it.
Yeah.
You want to buy a horse ranch in Colorado? Go for it. Whatever that you never had time to do. It's such an opportunity. Thank goodness. And our vision, the vision for the Contract to Succession, our overall vision is a very simple vision. And it is this. We want people 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, after we have worked with them, to call us, to send us an email and say, wow, what you help us do, help us accomplish, we're leading a whole new life. We have a whole new purpose in life. That's our vision.
I love it, Marty. I love it. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have 2 questions for you. The first question is, because this will apply to anyone who's in any sort of big life transition, in particular, exiting or selling their business, but in any other transition. When you have a client who is experiencing that identity crisis, I always like to say that the quality of our life is based on the quality of the questions we ask ourselves. And so I'm curious for you, what do you encourage them to ask themselves, inquire about, to get to learn about themselves? Where do you start that exploratory process with them to help them redefine themselves?
Beyond your business, take your business out of the equation. What do you really enjoy? Do you like music? Do you like riding your motorcycle? Do you like working with and for your church? Do you, whatever?
Yeah.
What are you, you can't talk about the business. Beyond that, what are you passionate about possibly? Now, even people struggle with that word passion because a lot of people, even at 50, 60, 70 years old, quite frankly, other than their business, they're not passionate about anything else, which is scary. So that's why the 3 to 5 year thing. I mean, I've had people where, and I would say that, okay, so I already know you ride motorcycles. I already know you travel overseas. You love travel. Okay, well, how can you make that an important part of your life? People struggle, Laura. People struggle.
Takes time.
That's why it takes time. Takes time. I may have told you this. I tell other people the story that there was one client we had and many clients have been with us for months and years. I actually put together a storyboard for this couple. I mean, I made this gigantic storyboard because I knew what they liked and I knew what they're passionate about, but they had a hard time moving to the actual exit phase. So I it couldn't even fit in my car. I had to angle it into my car. And there's pictures of different, the traditional storyboard, that talk about visioning. And there was a picture of a motorcycle, a travel home, they were very much in their truck. And I had all different things. This is the truth. I'm not exaggerating this. I took this there. It was a client in Pittsburgh. I took this to them. I said, we're going to talk about, your future. This is how we're going to talk about today. They both started to cry.
Oh, wow.
they said, we've been talking about this, Marty, and we've been struggling with it, and it becomes much clearer. Now, again, can I suggest a book, by the way?
Yeah.
Here's the best ever, man. I love this person. Her name is Denise Logan. Denise Logan. The book is The Seller's Journey. The Seller's Journey by Denise Logan. We collaborate on a few different things, and I have given out this book to I don't know how many people. Anybody who listens to this, the emotional part of the transition.
Wow.
Get this book. Get this book. It's a incredibly important part of it. Your financials is important, running a solid business. And quite frankly, I know we're kind of running out of time, maybe. Maybe I'm talking too much.
No, that's okay. I got one more question for you.
Go.
Okay. Yeah, I want to ask you the $64,000 question. And that's what people are probably wondering, is they're thinking about, okay, well, all right, I know I might want to get in shape to potentially sell my business in 3 to 5 years. Okay, fine. And then they're thinking, but what the heck is the valuation? And so I'd love if you could share with us, how can a company understand or even begin to assess its own valuation?
Okay. Well,
can you do it in 2 minutes, Marty?
Yeah, no, I can do it. And actually, yeah, I can do it to start now. There's going to be a lot of people who say, don't bother. Now, that's going to shock some people, because if you build a business and if you're building it right, the valuation will take care of itself. Now, I know that's an important question. If you are going to exit your business as a valuation, it's a very important thing. A few ways to do that. You can go to a CPA and they can, if they're certified or if they have experience in putting together the valuation, they can do that. In our case, we have a report that's called the Core Value Discover Report. And so, you know, it's a report that's generated by artificial intelligence and the databases in the industry that you want. And in 15, 20 minutes, we can give you, it's not a certified valuation, but you can get a valuation based on how you're running your business today. And it can say, well, this is how you're running your business today. If you're selling today, this is what it would probably be worth. If you do some of the things that this report says and that we says, you can increase your value.
Gotcha.
So valuation, but let me add to it. Valuation does take into account all the things we're talking about. Strong IT, strong systems, strong management team, recurring income, strong customer base, all business things. So when you're valuing your company, you may be making money, but you decided not to invest in the new software.
Right.
Somebody valuing that company is going to say, well, you're making money, but quite frankly, you're probably going to decline. And buyers are looking at your future. Although they're gauging you on the past, they're looking to say, okay, your business is this, you have an EBITDA, that's the way people look at it most of the time, of this, but you haven't been growing it, you haven't been investing. So chances are you're going to decline. The value of the business will go down. You cannot stop. You have to keep growing the business, growing the management team, buying the new software, investing in long-term deals, getting as much recurring income as you can. That's my answer.
I love it. Marty Wolff, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. For people who are just enamored with you and want to learn more, where do we send them, Marty?
Wow, somebody enamored with me. I love that. That's cool. There's two places. Are you enamored with me or no? Okay, seriously, go to contractorsuccession.com. That's the best place. Contractorsuccession.com. You will find me on LinkedIn. That's how we started our relationship. You can find Marty Wolff on LinkedIn. And those are the two best places. And you can learn more about, me in general. And that's the best place.
Love it.
Okay.
Marty, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, what a pleasure. It's been a great